This is a review of Winchester, starring Helen Mirren, based on the famous house. We did the trailer reactions. We were cautiously optimistic. We were hoping for the best, so let's find out.
Alright, so this is a spoiler-filled review, so if you haven't seen the movie Winchester, check it out. Alright, you're back, which means you saw it. Yeah. So basically, plot synopsis. This is about a doctor who goes and sees Sarah Winchester.
We're worried about her sanity, Dr. Price.
And to examine her psychological problem, see what's going on, and see if she is actually able to run the Winchester Corporation.
Sarah Winchester's mind is as chaotic as the house itself.
And if she's seeing ghosts. Alright, we start off with lights. I know that you were quite vocal, so go ahead and fire it off. What do you got?
Well, I loved the boy when he was possessed by the ghost.
Okay,
the creepy boy with his eyes, and he was all white, and he was just really cool.
I hate freaky children. I've said that a billion times, but I have to give it to you. The kid was creepy, and I think you'll agree with me, arguably the best scene in the movie for me was a sequence with him trying to shoot Sarah on the winding thing. You know, the tension was great. It was very well done. And then the shot where she comes up and you just see him with the freaky eyes. And it was not really a jump scare, but it was scary because he was so freaky. So
I thought he shot himself, honestly.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought we'd see like a dead kid on the floor.
Okay. Well, that's definitely a like. One of the things that I liked a lot about this movie, because it's my pet peeve personally, but it really worked. This was incredibly smartly written. There's not only no plot holes, but there was a really, really good reason that she was building these rooms, tearing them down, and rebuilding them.
Well, to piggyback off of that, I like the reason why she brought over the doctor. It's like she already knew that he was part of the house, technically. That was, again, I like how that was written well. Very, very well.
And I didn't know this going in because we go in kind of, blank, but I picked it up afterwards. The Spierig brothers did this movie, and it might not mean much to many of you. Some people may know Daybreakers, but they did arguably one of the best movies ever made in Predestination, and it is so well written that it makes 100% sense to me after learning that why this was so well written. So considering I'm always harping on horror movies with bad plots or ignoring their canon, I had to make a mental note about how great the writing on this was. Was there anything else that leapt out for you?
My favorite part was like towards the end when he saw the butler when he was in his human form, and he was like leading him to his room. Oh, I need to get my things. Right. And he was just leading him to his room, and they're just talking. But he led him to the staircase that led him to nowhere. Then he turns around and he's like, "Go to die." Yeah. That was cool.
Well, that was, they had some pretty good placed jump scares in there. This was kind of a jump scary type movie, which is fine, but they were very, they were well placed and well done. And then and then it was just everything about it was very clearly that period, 1906. They had the San Francisco earthquake. They even had the use of laudanum, which you mentioned as well, which I thought was an interesting choice because, let's be honest, there's a fair chunk of individuals who are getting no idea what the hell that is, or why it was used, or what happens when you use it. So it was an interesting choice, but it cemented it again. It was that writing and that attention to detail that the Spierig brothers brought to the project that really made it something quite different than the normal dreck of horror movies that we get. It is dislike time. I think you've got a handful, so
not too much of a
handful. Not too much? All right. Well, what do you got then?
The rifle scene. When towards the end, when the evil ghost is pointing the one gun at him, then all these rifles are pointing it at him too. It's just like.
But I mean, that was like the ghost exerting its power. Why did you not like that?
Because it's not realistic. I don't know. I just don't like it.
They are dealing with ghosts, so realism is out the window.
Ghosts are real.
Out the window.
Ghosts are real.
Okay, we'll get back to that. All right, so you did not like that.
No.
Okay.
And then I didn't like when he was in the solarium.
Yeah.
All the ghosts standing around him. That was just gave me a Stephen King Rose Red-esque to it. Like,
wow. I mean,
just the whole.
Well, yeah. I mean, they could. Yeah, I guess redoing that is not necessary.
I mean, I understand
they could have
that,
done something
like,
else.
he hasn't seen the ghosts, or she says you don't see them. You know, but
right. Yeah.
Now that he sees them, are they really crowding around him all this time, or were they like?
Well, you know, they kind of made their way there, but okay. I mean, I get that.
It's just, it's like the ghost saying like, "Come help us." Like,
no, I think they were ghosts saying, "We're gonna fuck you up," is what they were saying.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
But those were the ghosts that she had in the rooms.
That's what that's what I thought too.
Which were unsettled ghosts.
Yeah, but then they didn't hurt him and they were kind of helping him. Remember that ghost in chains? He was in a chain? That slave ghost?
The slave
and he
ghost,
gave him
yeah.
the 13.
Yeah, okay. Well, alright.
That was confusing a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Okay, so for me, the number one thing that I didn't like had absolutely nothing to do with the movie. I do not know if you experienced this. You saw it at a totally different theater in a different part of the country than I did. Before the movie started, there was an interview with the Spierig brothers.
Yeah, I saw that.
Where they showed behind the scenes of the movie. I don't want to see behind the scenes of a movie that I'm just about to see. Okay, maybe that's a pet peeve of mine, but I like the willing suspension of disbelief. I don't want to buy the DVD extras to see how stuff was made. That's not my thing. So to force me to be ruined beforehand was just ridiculous, insulting, and really set it off on a bad foot for me.
Would you have rather have been after?
I would have rather be absent. But if you had to have it, definitely after. Definitely after. As for the movie itself, you're kind of right. There was not a lot to dislike in the movie. You know, it was all very tight again from the likes with the writing. I honestly kind of was fascinating because and other people had said this as well, and I've read things that as you're going along through this movie, I was kind of not liking that we were getting this sort of, you know, political anti-gun thing. Not that I'm for anti-gun, it just has no place in a horror movie. And then the fact that they capped the movie off with a gun use pretty much nullifies all that. Plus the fact that it is an anti-gun when it's actually what Sarah Winchester believed in. Although, because I've heard similar criticism, and I'm like, you know, get over it, people. It's not. That's just. It's the reality. It's the way it was. So, yeah, that. And then the only other thing, honestly, and I say this because I harp on it, but B, the Spierig brothers have done it before, and that's that this was PG-13 when it clearly could have been an R, and that is from the standpoint, like, again, it bothers the hell out of me. Towards the end, when you're getting the backstory of the soldier and he's shot like 10 times by guns, there's no blood. Why is there no blood? It's because it's PG-13.
Yeah.
They've done R-rated movies before. Predestination is one. This movie would not have lost any money by being an R-rated movie. Even as a PG-13, it was pretty solid. But then you have that where there's no blood and it just kind of ruins it for you, or there's a little splutter here or there. You know, again, that's just my personal thing, but it definitely took away from the movie for me.
Oh, yeah.
It is Pinhead time. So, what are you gonna give Winchester?
I give it 3 pinheads.
Oh, 3, okay. Yeah. All right, and it's, for us, that's actually pretty darn good.
Yeah.
So 3 pinheads for you. Okay, so for me, I was actually saying this to people as I came out of the movie. I have seen so much awful horror movies over the last, 10 years that at this point, anything that isn't horrible, I'm celebrating. I'm happy about. This is by no means a new modern classic. I'm not going to say it is, okay? But it is also by no means horrible. I didn't waste my time. I didn't feel ripped off. So I'm actually also going to go right down the middle of the row with 3 pinheads. So the math is easy again. Your 3 pinheads, my 3 pinheads. This is going to be a 3 pinhead movie. Okay, so now, checking in, there's a lot of more negative reviews of Winchester out there. So, what did you guys think? Please let us know in the comment section below. That's right. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I think we're just going to wrap this up in a similar fashion to the way the movie was wrapped up. All ghosts, go to your room. Uh...